everybody. My name is Brooke Troutman and I am the social work librarian here at UTA Libraries. Today I am recording a session for students that are in the social work professionalism class, either social work 1231 or social work 3300. So today I'm going to show you guys a special guide that I've created for the class and where all my other research guides live. I'm going to show you how to navigate the library website and how to utilize our preferred method, I would say, of searching the databases for scholarly peer-reviewed journal articles that you'll need for this class, and hopefully you'll be able to translate the skills as you go forward into your other classes in the program. So let's get started. So right now, this is the library homepage, the library website, libraries.uta.edu. First off, I'm going to show you where all of my research guides live. I have roughly 26 or so guides specifically directed for social work students and different courses in the social work program. So we're going to go there first. So as you're looking at the library homepage, all you need to do is hover over research. You can go down to our subjects and course guides here. If you click on more guides, it'll take you to our page where all of our guides live that all of the librarians create. All of the librarians create research guides and topic guides for their students in their disciplines as well. So you can do two things here. You can either remember my name and click on by owner and scroll down to my name here, or you can do by subject and you can go down to social work and these are all of the social work guides. You can click here and it'll take you to the main page for the social work guides. This is a great screen because it has all of the social work guides listed here. It also has my contact information here, so you can easily reach out and set up some kind of appointment with me or ask a question. So I would get to know these guides. You will definitely utilize them, at least some of them, in your classes going forward. The top ones here are topic guides, so there's things like how to do a literature review, APA guide, 7th edition, information literacy for the social work researcher. This is our main Hit the Library, which is very similar to the presentation that you're watching right now. And then as you go down a little further, you'll see that these are course guides. So you see the course numbers next to them. I have the policy course, the research class, and many of the other core classes that you will take in your program, all the way through to some master's level courses up here. So for this class, we'll click on this guide, which is the Social Work 1231, 3300, Social Work Professionalism. And here it is. So this is a landing page for the guide. Whenever I come into a classroom or record a video session or do a session over Microsoft Teams, I always utilize some kind of research guide or library guide to help me teach, because it's like a website. I can go back in and I can add things to it. I can take things away. I can update it easily. And it's here for you guys to use in the future. So if you forget everything I say here today, you guys can go back to this guide and look at all the resources that I cover. So let's get started. So I start off with good things to know. So things that you'll find on the library homepage as well, I just have connects to them right here, so direct links. So over here in the top left, I have interlibrary loan, which when I'm in the database is doing a demo here in a few minutes, I'm going to go over how to utilize interlibrary loan if you've not done it before. But this will take you to the main interlibrary loan page. We also have all of our collections listed here, and then a list of technology that you can check out through the library. So these are just some really handy links that are here in case you need them. The top right, I have a direct link to what I call the catalog, or our summons, which is kind of like Library Google. It is a way to look up anything that we have actually access to or have physically in the library at UTA Libraries. So if you have a known item like a book or an article that you know the title and author of, or you're looking by specific works by an author, something like that, that is where you need to go So that would be from the main search box on the library website, or if you're on this guide, it's for this class, you can click right on this catalog link. Library resources in the bottom left, I have a link to all of our databases A to Z. You will see me do this in a few minutes when I do my little demo. I am going to go back in from the library homepage to show you that, so that we can, so you guys can see how you can get in from the main page if you, for some reason, don't have this guide or can't find it. I also have some links that I thought might be pertinent. We have our awesome UTA Fab Lab. Even with the current situation, it is open and available for students to utilize things like 3D printing, screen printing, laser cutter, lots of different tools, embroidery machines, things like that. So this is a link to their specific website. And then two really important links that can be helpful for especially newer students is a link to printing and what printers and scanners we have in the library, specifically on the second floor. And then a link to OIT, so the Office of Information Technology. So if you're having any technology trouble with your passwords, trouble with your ID, trouble with your devices, any of that, so that is who you would need to get in touch with. Over here under Getting Help, we have links to our research coaches. We have highly trained students that are trained to help and research and find things in the library. They are located on the second floor, and here's a link to their website. We also have our Ask a Librarian chat feature that you can chat with a librarian and send a direct email to the libraries directly to ask a question. We have our Writing Center, which is located on the fourth floor. Currently, they're doing virtual appointments. So if you want some help with your writing project or different assignments with the actual mechanics of writing, they can help you there. You can also reach out to me personally, of course. And here's a way to request an appointment. Easiest way still is to contact me directly. And then last but not least, finding your way, we have research and librarians by subject. Again, I am your designated librarian for social work, but in case you switch majors or you have a class that's in a different discipline for an elective or something that you have to take and it may be outside of the realm of social work, you may need to look up a librarian in a different discipline, so that's where you would do it. And all this stuff is located on the library homepage besides here. Moving on to searching techniques for library databases. So you'll see this page or a combination of different things that you see on this page and other pages about the logic of searching. So this page is going to talk about your need to find keywords out of either your research topic or your research question. The logic of searching using our Boolean operators, which is the little words and, or, and not. And how to kind of use them in tandem with each other. So this tutorial here and this tutorial here, I won't play now, but I encourage you guys to watch these on your own. So you'll see me demo this stuff in a few minutes, but if you still are having a hard time understanding the concept, this could be useful information. So on the left side is all about choosing keywords, and the right is all about the Boolean operators. So you may find that you have a topic and you're just not sure what words are essential to put into the database for as far as like finding the right materials. Databases for library materials, for articles, especially scholarly peer-reviewed articles, they don't run on natural language. So it's not like Google, where it's pretty handy, where you can type in a specific question or ask it a question and it will retrieve you relevant results. Where the databases, you have to use keywords and the Boolean operators in between those keywords to tell the database what to do and what to retrieve for you. So if you're having trouble picking out keywords and synonyms to those keywords, which you'll need to, this is a really handy way to find out. And I'll demo this in a second. And then over on the right side, the logic of searching, the little Boolean operator and you'll see this used from the very beginning in my demo. You usually will put and in between your search terms. And then or you will put in between your search terms, and you can also use it with and so and will narrow down your results and keep it in the scope of what you're trying to look for. So it will tell if there's 2 or 3 keywords, it will tell the database to only search for articles that have all the keywords in there, not just one or a few, but everyone from every search box that you have filled out. But if you have or in there, it tells the database to search either or keyword. So it essentially broadens out your search, and that's where your synonyms or your like terms would come in. But you can use them together and tell the database to only search for things that are in the search boxes, but you can broaden it out to some synonyms. And that may seem a little confusing, so like I said, I will demo that in just a second. So we are going to do a demo, but before I jump into the databases and do that, I want to make you aware that on the left side I have types of resources. So if you're still confused about the difference between popular, scholarly, peer-reviewed articles, I have that listed here. And if you're also confused about what the heck is an article compared to a journal, compared to a database, I have that written out here. And it's okay as a beginning researcher to not know these types of things, and that's why you're here, to learn. I also have a little tutorial video about that as well, and I encourage you guys to watch that, and I might clarify the difference. Besides just being able to utilize the database, which will separate out the scholarly peer reviewed for you, that it might be nice for you to start learning how to maybe identify some of those on your own. And so this kind of talks about that, and it's really, really helpful. The databases that we're going to start using, the main one is Academic Search Complete. It's an EBSCO-host brand database, which is just a vendor. It's just a company name. But I like Academic Search Complete. It's a multidisciplinary database, but you can also search multiple databases at the same time while you are in that one. So, and the ones that you choose. So not every database that we have in the library, which is roughly 415 or so, but ones that you choose. And some of those are some of the ones that I have listed underneath here, like CINAHL Complete, which is a nursing allied health database, Social Work Abstracts, which is kind of the standard that we have for social work. And ERIC down here is an education database, and there's a bunch of other ones. Social Services Abstract is a standalone database. It's different. It's a ProQuest brand database, so that's just a different vendor, a different company name. I'm not going to demo that here, but it is very large and can have some great items in it. So it's, if you can't find something with the method that I'm going to show you as your kind of go-to method, if you're struggling to find things, that's another great database to search, and you would still use the exact same techniques and search terms that you did with the one that I'm going to demo for you. Before we jump in there, I'm going to show you these two really helpful things that I encourage you to use if you think that it would help you kind of streamline your searches or stay organized or kind of learn the mechanics of performing searches in the databases. So the first one is a basic search plan. It looks like this. It's just a way to help you stay organized. So in the top box, you can put your topic or your social problem or issue or research question, whatever it is. You can identify your major concept or your keywords, and then those synonyms or those like terms. And you can maybe identify Boolean operators, how you can create the different search strings here, and then identify your relevant databases. So using Academic Search Complete, maybe think about some of the other ones that you want to use, and I'll show you how to identify which ones are in those EBSCO-host brand databases that you could search simultaneously. And then also, when I jump into the databases, I'll show you where you can see all of the social work databases, so you can start to become familiar with different ones that you think might be helpful as you go forward in the program. The last one here is a blank concept map. So this is for mind mapping, and mind mapping can be really great if you're not sure how to develop a full-fledged research question, or you have a topic but you're not sure how to pick out keywords, you're not sure how to develop an actual line of questionings for research. So it can be used a variety of different ways. You put the topic or your problem or your research question, or even if it's just a basic term, that's all you can think of, put that in the center, and then do some critical thinking, kind of think outside the box, think about how you can develop that, think about like terms, think about related situations or scenarios depending on what it is, and write those in the circles that stem out from that. So again, that's called mind mapping, and it can be really helpful, but these are just tools that I have in here for you guys to use if needed. Alright, so let's jump into the databases. So I'm going to jump off of our guide really quickly, and I'm going to go back to the library homepage. This time I'm going to hover over research again, but I'm going to go under search, and I'm going to click on databases A to Z. So this is all of our databases that we have available in the libraries, or that the library has access to, alphabetically. We could jump down and go to Academic Search Complete because it's the third one down under A, but I'd like to show you where all the social work databases are. So if you go under subjects and scroll all the way down to social work, you'll come to this page. So there's about 87 databases that I've deemed really great for social work research. This page is also really great because, again, it has my contact information, kind of like the guides page, so you can easily pop me a question or request an appointment with me. And then under that, it actually has all of the social work guides listed, so that's extra handy. These are all of my best bet databases, so there's a lot of great ones outside of the technique that I'm going to demonstrate for you here today, but these are some really great ones to utilize. And maybe go through, do a little research on how they can help you. Here is Academic Search Complete, so I'm going to go ahead and click that. And we are ready to get started. So I like these EBSCOhost brand databases, the Academic Search Complete, and any of the other ones that are under this EBSCOhost brand, because they're really straightforward. They have a really easily usable, user-friendly interface, so there's not too much going on. You see the 3 search boxes here. You have the blue toolbar up at the top. And to a brand new researcher, it may seem like, oh, there's a lot going on with all this stuff here. But these are just some limiters, ways to expand your search or modify your search. You can also do it inside. Once you've put some search terms in the box here, you can look at the limiters once we're in there, and that's what we'll go ahead and do. So before you get started, and before we even choose databases, I should tell you my pretend topic, and I use this topic a lot when I'm in the classroom talking about how to utilize the databases, but so you may have heard it before if you see another video, but my topic is, what role do social workers play in teen pregnancy prevention? So it's a very basic, straightforward research question, pretend. So what we're going to do is go into choose databases right here and choose some databases based on that topic that would help us find some credible scholarly peer-reviewed journal articles as resources to help with a research paper on this topic. So once you click on choose databases, you'll see this list in the middle of your screen, and there's a ton of databases in it. If you're not sure what something is, all you need to do is hover over this little icon, and it'll have a pop-up box that will tell you all about the database, what subject it is for. It'll even tell you about how many articles and full text options are listed in there. And it'll give you all you need to know to see if that is something that you would like to use. So obviously this is Academic Search Complete, but there's a whole bunch of them in here. So I encourage you to get to know a lot of them that are available here to search simultaneously, because it can be really beneficial. I'm going to draw your attention to several of them though today that I think are really important. And the first ones I always start out with is what I call the Big Four. And I call them the Big Four for a couple of different reasons. For one, they're really large databases on their own, and they're great, and they have a lot of articles in them, a lot of resources in there for you. They also cover, between the 4 of them, a very broad swath of topic areas in social work research. And then the other one, the last reason that I like them, is that it's really easy for it to catch on and have new researchers remember them when I say that they're the Big Four, because they're in all caps. So you'll see that when I click on some, they're in all caps, and so you're like, oh, I can't remember what they are, but if you look for the capitalized ones, you're probably going to be able to kind of jog your memory to remember them easily, so that you click on at least one of them. And I say click on at least one of them because one of the other things about them is they have what I call multifaceted search functions, meaning they have lots of extra limiters in most of them, and they can help manipulate your search to give you better search results as far as the different articles that will display on the screen for you. So I'm going to go through those really quickly. So the first one, and this used to be kind of on its own, it was Psych Info, and now it's under APA Psych Info and then APA Psych Articles. So it's the American Psychological Association. So they're kind of a 2-for-1 in the way that I say it. But I've been saying Big Four for some time now, and I don't want to confuse students. So this is the APA. So I guess we could just call it the APA is one here. So you'd click on those 2, and that covers things, you know, a lot of mental health issues and stuff like that. The second one is CINAHL Complete, and you'll see that's in all caps. This is a nursing and allied health database, so it's probably one of the most important databases we have for all of the health science research, besides things like PubMed and Medline, which I'm going to get to in a second. The third one is ERIC, just like the guy's name. This is from the federal government, and it is anything education related. I also click on this when I am doing some research, anything that has to do with children and families, things of that nature, that kind of social work research. So I keep that one clicked. And then the last one is Medline, that I briefly mentioned, and that is a strictly medical database. The only caveat about Medline is sometimes it'll pull articles that are really medical jargon heavy with things that are kind of confusing. So unless you have something that is healthcare or medical related, which there are lots of topics like that in social work research, but if you don't have something that's like that, you may or may not want to click on it. If you do click on it and you find that you're finding a lot of medical jargon heavy articles, you can go back and unclick it and not search it anymore and take those away. So it's really easy to manipulate what databases that you're searching simultaneously. So after you've picked some of at least one, even though I've picked all of the big four, after you pick those, you're going to want to pick some other databases that are pertinent to your topic. And we usually also want to click social work abstracts. It's not a very big database, but it's kind of a standard in the field of social work and what we have available under this brand of databases. So we're going to go ahead and click that. Based on our topic of teen pregnancy, social workers, and prevention, we're going to click on Health Source, which is another nursing and kind of healthcare related database. I'm also going to click on the Psychology and Behavioral Sciences collection. And then I'm probably going to go back up here towards the top and click on Anthropology Plus. Anthropology is the study of humans and human culture. So surprisingly, there can be a lot of stuff in anthropology that relates to social work research. So I think that's all we're going to pick. So once you're ready, click OK, and you're ready to search. So again, our topic is what role do social workers play in teen pregnancy prevention? Let's start with our main keywords of social workers, teen pregnancy, and prevention. So we'll start with those, and then I'll show you how to add in some synonyms and broaden out your search. So there's social workers, teen pregnancy, and prevention. And when you're ready, click search. Alright, so it says that we have 79 results right off the bat. But there are two things that you always have to do very first thing. So you'll see that we have all of these limiters available to us. There's a lot of them here. So the two most important limiters that you always have to do before anything else are scholarly peer-reviewed. So we are looking for the gold standard or scholarly peer-reviewed journal articles. So we'll click that one, and it will only show us those types of articles. It will take things away like newspaper articles, popular articles, theses or dissertations, and will only show us peer-reviewed stuff. So now we have about 42, but we have one more thing we need to do. We need to look at relevant articles. They need to be relevant. I'm sure there was some really great stuff going on in social work research on this topic in 1978, but that's not really relevant to what we're doing today. So we want to look at stuff that was written or published in the past 10 years. And that's the standard for the social sciences in general, is looking at articles that were written and published in the past 10 years, unless otherwise directed by your professor. So it could be 15, 20, and if it's healthcare related, like a lot of the nursing students, they do 5 years or sooner. But gold standard is 10 years. So you can take this little lever and take it all the way up to 2010 and have it update. So now we actually only have 15 results. So we went from 79 to 15 pretty quickly. For this class, I know that the assignment is finding and analyzing a scholarly peer-reviewed journal article. But going forward in your classes, you're going to need to find more than one article. And even for this assignment, I suggest always finding more than what you need. So if you only need one, find 2 or 3. If you need 3, find 6. If you need 5, find 10. Chances are that you could grab the articles, just the bare minimum that you need, get out of the database and start analyzing those articles and realize that half of them really aren't what you thought, and you're not going to be able to utilize them very well in whatever your project is. So having extras on hand to go through will really give you better resources, and you won't have to go back into the databases and recreate your search. So you could go through these 15 articles. You could scroll through. All you're reading when you're doing this step of the search process is reading the title, and you're reading the abstract to see if this would sound like an article that would help you or would be interesting and that you'd like to take a further look at. So going through 15 would be easy, but you may or may not find something that you really want or think would be useful to whatever your topic is. So you might want to have some more options. So here's the first step in making that happen. This is where those synonyms that I've been talking about come in. Easiest thing to do is go up to your first search box and click in it. Then you click space, and let's type in the Boolean operator OR, because we're going to expand this search. So you'll see that the databases, and this is another reason I like these particular databases, they'll give you some hints and some ideas for synonyms to the keywords that you already have typed in, if you weren't able to think of any on your own. And that's okay if you're not, and it's also okay to bust out a thesaurus, because I do it too. So, but even if you've done that or you've thought some on your own, you may or may not have thought of all of them, so it's a really good idea to check to see what the databases come up with. So for this one, it says social workers or social services or just social work, not plural. So let's click on that one. Then we'll go and do the same thing here. So teen pregnancy or adolescent pregnancy or teenage, so the full word, teenage pregnancy. So we'll broaden it out there, and then the last one, we'll do the same thing one more time. This one is great and give you a bunch. It can give you intervention, treatment, program, and go on and on. I'll probably do the one up here, which is just the intervention, treatment, or program, and not go a little bit further like this one. Or you could just do one extra one. It just depends. I'll do this one. That seems like a really good grouping of terms that it came up with. So once you have that, you can just click search again. And now we have 496 results. So we went from 15 to 496. And that is with our limiters of scholarly, peer-reviewed, and the past 10 years still on. Whenever you manipulate the search box up here, any limiter down here, any of these limiters that are a little more honed in, they're going to go away and you're going to have to reset them. But the limiters of scholarly peer-reviewed and the publication date will stay anytime that you have it clicked and you manipulate the search box. So we don't have to do those. It's on, and now you have 496, and you're probably thinking that is too many to go through. So this is where the other limiters come in. So you're able to see everything that's out there, but you can kind of look at these in smaller chunks, or you can use some extra limiters to really look at the things that are going to be really relevant to your topic. So scroll down here, and we can start towards the bottom. So we could go with population. We could go with human, female, male. Only females have babies, so that might be it could be a possibility. We could go up to geography. Maybe we're only looking about teen pregnancy in the United States, or in a particular state like California, Florida, or maybe there's Texas listed in here. We could go by gender. Again, only females have babies, so that might be relevant. We could go by age, since we're dealing with adolescents and teenage persons, so we may go that route. But my favorite way to kind of look at a smaller grouping of articles when you have such a large amount is you go under subject major heading. If you click on subject major heading and click on show more, you'll have this box that'll pop in the middle of the screen, kind of like when we chose databases, but these are the major keywords, major subject headings for each individual article, deemed so by the authors. So there's 88 articles here that have a major subject of pregnancy and adolescence. There's 63 of adolescent pregnancy. So these are just the major subject heading terms that were presented and published along with the articles presented by the authors. So what you can do here is you can click on this and take a look, kind of scroll through these subject headings and maybe find something that's particular. So, okay, well, here's social work. I also see, intervention, prevention, and maybe, well, there's also prevention here. So pregnancy, prevention, so that's kind of, we'll take off intervention actually. So we'll do social work, pregnancy, and prevention. We'll click update. So this is a way to still keep it in the scope. So we're still looking in stuff that's being presented based on our keywords, based on our topic, which is social workers, teen pregnancy, and prevention. But this is kind of really honing in on specific topics even further into this broader topic. So now it's showing you 35 results based on the ones that you clicked. And so that's an easy way to look at a small group of articles out of the 500 or 400 and some that it was showing you. And it really drills down to pregnancy prevention and social work. So you could go through these 30 some, you could scroll through, you could click on the titles, you could save them, you can find a few that you like. And when you're ready, what you can do is always look under this current search. So this just has what you currently have going. So you have, this is your, what they call a Boolean phrase, which is all of these terms up here with your Boolean operators in between. You have these limiters going here, scholarly, peer-reviewed, and publication date. And then this is another set of limiters. You have it limited by these specific subject headings. So we can click off of these one by one, unfortunately. And once we do that, you can go back into subject major heading. And so this is taking us back to the 496. We can go back into subject major heading and click on show more again. And you might be able to pick some other terms, or maybe just one other term that has a larger hit count, like adolescent pregnancy, and click update. And so that'll show us another set of results, and then you can look through there. And so you do that 2 or 3 times, and then maybe get through, maybe not all of them, but look through a majority of those 400 and some articles and kind of look at them from a different lens and in a smaller grouping so it doesn't seem so overwhelming. So once you are ready to actually go through and be searching for these as you're using that subject major heading or any of those other limiters, you probably want to know about how you see one, you pick it out and you save it for yourself. So say you're scrolling through, and this first one, we'll just use this one. This one catches your eye. You've read the title, you've read the abstract, and you think it might be a good one to save, to go through, to maybe utilize in your project or your research assignment. So you click on it, and you'll see kind of our catalog type page. Off to the left, you'll see either say linked full text, or it'll say PDF full text. That means we have it. So this one just means we have it, but it's linked out to the web. So you click on that link and you'll go grab it. If it says PDF full text, it means it has the PDF right here in the database. You can click on it and download it right from here. If you go over to the right hand side, you'll see a bunch of different tools. So you can add it to a folder, which I'm going to go ahead and do and talk about in a second. You could print it right from here. You could email it individually to yourself. You could save it from you could save it on a thumb drive or a flash drive. And you also have this cite button. So I'm going to talk about this really quick. So you can click on the cite button. You can see that there is a citation listing for this particular article in all these different citation formats. And of course, we know that social work uses APA. So you can use this, but only use it for reference. Do not copy and paste this into your reference list, because there's several reasons why. If you're a beginning researcher, you probably haven't mastered APA yet. So if you're just copying and pasting, or in some cases using a citation generator, which are usually not the proper additions, you're not learning APA that way. You're just copying and pasting. Also, from the databases, copying and pasting into certain different word processing software usually doesn't copy and paste correctly and gets spacing wrong and gets other must-have format things wrong. And the last one is, most of the time these references are actually incorrect. They have, of course, the hanging indents, and some of the formatting is correct, but other times there's a lot of formatting that is wrong. For instance, a lot of times the title is presented wrong. In this case, it is presented in sentence case, which is proper for APA, but a lot of times it'll present itself in title case. And then also for the DOI or the URL, like so where you got the article from, in APA you need to have the link to the journal homepage or the DOI directly to the article, or so it has to be a direct link to the actual article. Most of the time, if you're finding it through a database, the database is just going to put on a direct link to the database, not actually to the article that you need. So it would be incorrect. So only use it for reference, but take a look at some of my resources that I present to you guys on how to master APA and create APA style citations, and you'll get the hang of it super quick, and you won't have to even worry about copying and pasting something. So I do want to go back over here. So I put this item into a folder. So I recommend, if you can grab the PDF right away, grab it, save it into a folder on your laptop or desktop, but also put it in this folder here, and do that every time. And when you're all done, you can go up to the folder at the top, on the top part of the blue toolbar, and click it. And there's only one in here now, but it'll be full of articles that you've browsed and you thought you wanted to take a better look at to utilize for your project. So you can go ahead and select all, and then you can email the entire folder to yourself. So you'll have one email that will have a folder with all links to all the articles that you saved in it, and then you'll also have the PDFs that you grabbed, and you'll have them like on your laptop or desktop. So you have it in two places in case you lose one or one didn't download correctly, and then you're able to go back and find the link and not have to again recreate a search. So all these are handy things to save you time and energy and make you an more efficient researcher. Alright, so last but not least, I want to show you one more thing. So I said that most of the time you'll either see linked full text, which means it links out to the web to grab the PDF, or you'll see down here this one that says PDF full text. That means we have the PDF right here available. Sometimes you'll see this right here, check for full text. This means either we have it or we don't, so it's kind of a 50-50 shot. So click on that link directly and it'll take you to a different looking page, and you'll be able to tell whether we have direct access to it or not. And I'll show you what to look for. So for this article, we actually do have access to it. It says view online, and then it shows you and has links to where you can actually get it, you know, based on things that we have access to. But if for some reason we didn't have, and which this is more often than not, so this is actually just a kind of a fluke that we actually have access here. If this area right here wasn't here, you would see a little yellow bar, and then underneath it you would have this link here that has links, and then borrow this article from another library. So that meant we didn't have access, but we have it set up so you can quickly and easily request it from another library. And because it's an electronic request for just a PDF of an article, you can usually get it within a couple of hours. I see 24 hours or less, but if it's during the daytime, our friendly staff at the library that work in our interlibrary loan department are ready to find these things for you and get them to you as quickly as possible. And all they have to do is reach out to another institution, have them send the link, and then they send it to you, and it'll be available in your email inbox. So all you have to do is click on this. And if you've never ever borrowed anything or logged into your interlibrary loan account, you'll log in with your NetID and password, and the first time will take you to a page that will ask you some pertinent information like your name, address, and phone number. But you'll only ever be asked that one time ever, and then once you do that, you won't have to fill that one out again. And then every time you log in, it'll look like this. It'll have the article request form set up, and what's nice about doing it this way and not just going in from the library homepage and having to populate the article or the form yourself about the article, it's pre-populated for you. So all you have to do is go down here and click submit request, and it's super simple. Submit request, and then you're ready to go. So it shows all your requests here. So if you had multiple requests, it would show them here, and within a few hours you will have this article sent to you with the PDF link. So I'm going to go back to our results list, and hopefully you guys understood how to do all of that. If you didn't, or if you want to go back, you can obviously, because this is a recording, you can rewind and watch again, but I encourage you to reach out to me. I have showed you where all those links are on the library homepage and the guide to reach out and ask me questions or request a one-on-one consultation with me over Microsoft Teams or over the phone. So I'm going to go back to the guide really quickly. So we're going to click on the library homepage, and we're going to go back under guides and go back to the guide for your class and show you one more thing. Again, we're going to go under subject, social work, We're going to go down to the course guides here and click on social work professionalism. So the last one that you saw that we were on was on the finding sources. So we found some sources. Well, what do you do now? It's time to kind of evaluate their sources. And I know for this assignment for this class is finding a journal article and analyzing it. And then going forward with some of your other courses, you're going to be asked to use those resources and write a research paper. So off to the left here, I have the structure of an APA style research paper. I have all the different headings that you'll find, and I have descriptions underneath all those headings, so you can go through that. Off to the right, I have a great tutorial that I encourage you to watch about using sources effectively. So most often I see students a lot that ask me, they're like, okay, I found these resources, but I have no idea how to utilize them in my project. I don't know how to pull the information or what to do with the information and get it into my paper or get it into my research project. So this talks about organizing your sources for the writing process and can be really, really handy. I also have a little bit about preventing plagiarism, understanding it, and this is about avoiding plagiarism. And yes, the half of it is about don't cheat. Definitely don't cheat and give credit where credit's due. But it's also, I have it in here because a lot of new researchers accidentally plagiarize because they are not sure how to paraphrase correctly and they're not sure how to do direct quotes correctly. And it talks about that in here. So that's a reason I leave it on this guide for the intro classes. And lastly, something that I have on this page that is specifically for the professionalism course and the assignment that you guys have to do utilizing the library and finding a journal and analyzing it is this journal notes template. Hopefully I can get this to pop up. There we go. So it's a note-taking template. And it is Microsoft Word, so you can print it out or you can just utilize it as is. But you will put the title of your article and author here, the date, and then it will have all the great questions that you need to ask yourself and be thinking about as you're reading through the article and analyzing it. So the background, what was the context for the research, the methods and nature of the study, the results, the data, conclusions, what did the authors learn overall, what are some of the next steps, and what is the significance? So why did that research matter? So I have this here for you guys specifically to utilize this for your assignment, and it'll get you thinking of going forward how to properly read and analyze journal articles to use them successfully in any of your projects. The last page is helpful resources for APA. And a link to my YouTube channel where you will find this video and some other videos talking about searching in general. There's also searching for some other classes in social work. There's one for the research class. I'm also getting ready to upload one specifically about APA and then the writing process. So be checking out my YouTube channel. Feel free to subscribe so you see all the different article and database tutorials and other topics about research and writing and social work that I post there. On this side is citation resources, so APA 7th edition. This is different examples of ways to cite things like books, book chapters, articles with or without DOIs, websites. I encourage you all to watch this quick 4-minute tutorial about APA citation. It's about how to make a APA citation 7th edition, taking information from a specific journal article and translating it step by step into a proper citation. I also have links to the Purdue OWL Writing Lab. I have slides from a presentation done by a former colleague of mine, which is a presentation by Dr. Christopher Kilgore doing APA specifically for social work, and these are just the slides. There's no video or audio, but there is some great information on the slides, so I keep that in here. And last but not least, how to do the APA hanging indent. You don't use tab for that. You use a feature in your word processing software. So I have a quick small tutorial. It's about 2 minutes long about how to do that if you don't know. Last tab of this guide is just how to reach out to me for the 3rd or 4th time. So I try to put my contact information as many places as possible, so I do encourage you, whether you're watching this video in class, you are watching it on your own, you've watched it several times, and you still have questions, please click, when you're on the guide, click to email me. send me questions, reach out and request a one-on-one over Microsoft Teams or over the phone. And I am always here to help. I try to be super flexible, and so my office hours are pretty much all the time depending on what my calendar dictates. So again, reach out, and I look forward to getting to know all of you. Welcome to UTA, or if you're not quite new, just welcome to the School of Social Work, and I look forward to being your librarian and helping you guys with your research. Have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.